Welcome back to Rooted in the Seasons, where we explore yoga, Ayurveda, and simple rhythms that help you feel calmer, steadier, and more at home in yourself. I'm Katya Patel, yoga teacher, teacher mentor, and Ayurveda diet and lifestyle educator. And today, we're continuing our journey through the chakras. Today's episode is all about the Manipura Chakra, the center of confidence, of purpose, of transformation, and perhaps most importantly, the place where good intentions become real life. Have you ever started the week full of motivation? This week, I'll cook properly. I eat lunch away from my desk. I finally make time for yoga. And somehow, by Wednesday, life has taken over. The intention was there. The knowledge why was there as well. But following through felt much harder than you expected. If that sounds familiar, stay with me, because today's chakra offers a fascinating way of understanding why that happens. Before we move into the navel center, let's briefly look back at where we traveled so far. Our journey began in Muladhara, the root chakra, the place of stability, of safety, our body, food, home, everything that helps us feel supported. From there, we moved into the Svadhisthana chakra, the sacral chakra, our emotions, relationships, creativity, learning to move with life instead of resisting every change. Each chakra builds on the one before. Each becomes the foundation for the next one. So today we arrive somewhere different. This is where it begins to take a turn, because understanding ourselves is one thing. Living from that understanding is something else entirely. Manipura literally means the city of jewels. A beautiful name for a chakra sitting around the navel. Interestingly, every chakra also corresponds with a major nerve plexus in our body. So while these teachings are subtle, they are never disconnected from the physical body. And this is where yoga and Ayurveda become so beautifully connected. Manipura is associated with the fire element. When most people hear fire, they immediately think of heat. But fire does something much more important. It transforms. Fire cooks food. Fire changes raw ingredients into nourishment. Inside the body, your digestive fire transforms food into energy. And according to yoga, the same transformative energy also helps us to digest our experiences, learn from life, make decisions, and act on what matters. I find that such a practical way of looking at it, because we often think our biggest problem is motivation. Yet many of us already know exactly what we want to do. We simply struggle to keep doing it. So already we have discovered something important. Manipura isn't simply about confidence. It's about transformation. The ability to turn intention into action. One way to understand this is to think about a child's development. As babies, world revolves around immediate needs. The food, warmth, comfort, safety. As children grow, their awareness naturally expands. They begin to notice other people, form friendships, take responsibility, see purpose. The same expansion continues throughout life. Our world gradually becomes bigger than ourselves. Manipura represents that stage of the journey where we begin asking, what kind of life do I actually want to create? When you look at the Manipura lotus, one symbol immediately stands out. The red triangle pointing upwards. It represents fire, movement, transformation, energy rising. Around it are 10 lotus petals. Each carry one of the traditional Sanskrit sounds connected with this chakra. And at its center, the Bija mantra Ram. Today, I simply invite you to listen, perhaps even chant it with me. Place one hand over your navel. Notice the vibration. Notice the warmth. Notice whether anything changes inside you. Om Ram. Om Ram. Om Ram. If you want to experiment with chanting the Bija mantra, go to the companion blog post where you find a short audio you can chant along with. One of the reasons I love teaching yoga alongside Ayurveda is because they keep describing the same experience using a different language. In Ayurveda, fire is Agni. It's responsible for digestion, transformation, metabolism. Pitta dosha carries many of those same qualities: warmth, sharpness, clarity, purpose. Suddenly, these two traditions stop looking separate. They begin explaining each other. The more years I study them, the more beautifully they fit together. My own teacher, Shreeguruji Balaji, used to say something that has stayed with me for many years. Fear is cold. Think about the expression, a cold sweat. When we're in a fear-based situation, exams, talking in front of people comes to mind. We don't say a warm sweat. Then we're just sweating from heat, workout, physical work. There was something wonderfully simple about that observation, because when we cultivate warmth through movement, through breathing, through chanting, through good digestion, something inside us begins to soften. We might feel a little more courageous, a little more willing to move forward. So far, we traveled from physical stability through our emotional world, and now we arrived at transformation. The question Manipura keeps asking is simple. What will you actually do with the life you've been given? These teachings become practical. Following through doesn't usually happen because one day we suddenly become more disciplined. It grows through repetition of ordinary movements. Preparing breakfast every morning. Eating lunch before you're starving and eat anything in front of you because you can't wait any longer. Going to bed when you said you would. Rolling out your mat for 10 minutes instead of waiting for the perfect hour. Those tiny actions repeated regularly begin to strengthen something inside us. They become evidence. I can trust myself. And confidence grows from there. There are many ways of working with this chakra. Chanting the Bija mantra we did earlier. Yoga postures, asanas, like twists or back bends. Starting the morning with a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. Breathing techniques such as Bhastrika or Kapalabhati. Affirmations, journaling. But rather than trying everything, perhaps choose just one. Ask yourself, what is one action that would move me one small step closer to the life I want? To explore those practices, read through the companion blog post, where you can pause and try the examples given. Manipura isn't asking for perfection. It's inviting consistency. I'd love to leave you with a question today. What promise have you quietly been making to yourself that you're now ready to honor? Perhaps it's eating breakfast, perhaps finishing work on time, or taking one conscious breath before every meal. Small actions become the true turning point in your lives. This is one of the reasons I created Back to Rhythm. Over the years, I've met so many women who already knew what would help them. They didn't need more information. They needed rhythms that made following through feel possible. And that's exactly what we build together. small daily practices that gradually become part of who you are. Because a meaningful life isn't built through good intentions alone. It's built through the actions we repeat every day. The doors to back to rhythm are going to open again this September. The link to the interest list is in the show notes. So if this is for you, have a look. So next week, we're going to continue our journey and arrive at Anahata, the heart chakra. Here, your awareness expands again from personal power towards compassion, connection, and love. Until then, perhaps choose one small action today. One nourishing meal, one conscious breath, one promise you keep to yourself. And if you're joining us for the first time today, you might also enjoy going back to the first 2 episodes of this series on Muladhara and Svatisthana chakras, where this journey begins. Thank you so much for listening to Rooted in the Season. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe or follow Rooted in the Seasons on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That way, new episodes will land automatically for you. And if you like more support between episodes, you can download my free guide, 5 daily Ayurvedic shifts to feel like yourself again. And subscribe to my Sunday Read newsletter. You'll find all the links in the show notes. And if something in today's episode resonated, I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me on Substack or drop me an email. I always read and answer them. Until next time, stay rooted in the seasons. Bye-bye.